So this is kind of sort of episode 10 of Final Savecast, and with me as always is Joe.
Hello.
And as you can see, we have a very plain video with just web page on here because we're working on getting video cameras. We're changing the format. We're gonna go video. And we're also pretty much not editing anymore because it takes so much time for us to all edit the videos and stuff that we figure, what's the point? We're just gonna put up the raw whatever we come up with. And sometimes that's probably good, sometimes bad. I've had to edit some things out because it might have caused a riot in a couple places, so we'll have to see. Um, as going to be the point today. So we're probably going to cause a lot of headaches. So one thing I want to say right now, we're going to have opinions. This episode, we're going to talk mainly about the new consoles because they came out. Now, at least for me personally, and Joe can add to this if he wants, just because I don't like something doesn't mean you need to get upset about it. It doesn't ruin your experience of it. So if you like it, fine, but this is
Right.
just our take on it, okay? So just getting that out of the way. Um, so the consoles launched, and I had a list of things that we kind of did pros and cons, and for some reason my computer ate it. So chalk that up as like a reason to hate PC. Um, so I've talked to Joe for a while, and I've talked to a couple other people, and yeah, there are some exclusives on PC, and there's some exclusives on consoles and stuff. But to me, I'm gonna stick with PC because mainly my feeling is I don't really feel that excited about this generation, like personally.
Oh, agreed.
Um, I looked at both the consoles honestly for me and did sort of pros and cons and said, you know what, it's this time around I have to skip. I can't really see a point into doing it because neither one of the consoles is really doing what I want now. I don't know how you feel about it, Joe, but for me, I've been called a graphics whore already, and you said I might have a bit of a problem with that because, as far as you know, I'm the only person that's ever modded Crysis to make it look better. Um,
Right.
so maybe that's true, but at the same time, I'm not like doing a $400 graphics card, so I kind of have a hard time seeing that. But
Mm,
I PCs for the past 5 years easily have been doing 1080p and been doing 60 frames a second for the last three at that resolution consistently across all
right.
games. So I kind of imagined these consoles to be 1080p, 60 frames a second machines. And when they weren't, and they, you know, a lot of console gamers out there give Nintendo shit for their consoles being uh, and I've actually brought up the Microsoft and PS4 pages here. So we're going to talk about tech stuff real quick just to kind of give you an idea and go to hardware here. Um, they're not doing the job for me. They're just not technically they're inferior to what I want them to be able to do. So here I have what this is all going to mean is Xbox right here. We have it up on the page, and we can see the processors are x86. They're Jaguar cores, but they're basically low-end x86 cores. There's 8 of them in there, but it sounds like from what I'm hearing is only 4 of them are actually for games. So they're like dedicating one quad core to the operating systems and another quad core to gaming. You can see
Right.
here from a technical specification, it's using DDR3 RAM, which is kind of sort of it's the same RAM that was in the Xbox One, just at a higher speed. It's 2100 instead of 700 megahertz, so it's quite a bit of a leap, but still.
Wait.
Um,
Um. The You mean the Xbox 360?
oh yeah, the Xbox 360. Sorry.
Really? The Xbox 360 used DDR3? I thought it was using DDR2.
Nope, it was three.
Really?
Yeah, 700 megahertz compared speed on that compared to 2100 on this. Um, even with the and that sound you're hearing is Joe typing into his keyboard to make sure I'm not full shit. Um,
Pretty much.
yeah.
No, it was GDDR3.
Well, graphics doubled at a rate RAM, but
Right.
I don't see the difference.
That really isn't too much of a difference.
Not really, no. I mean, basically, maybe the way it interfaced, but that's about it. So technically, this would
Hmm.
be GDDR3 if you were going by that, because this is 2100 interface instead of the normal 128-bit that you get on PC.
Right.
Um, so anyways, Microsoft has got a 12 compute unit, so using AMD cores. There's 64 in a compute unit. It comes up to 768. Now the thing that's disappointing about this even more is 10% of that's being used by Kinect. So I did the math. 10% of that is roughly 690 cores, and you run it at 853 megahertz. So it's about the power of a 770, or was it 7770 or whatever the hell it is, the 777 card from AMD.
Right.
Which by today's standard, it's a nice cheap card, but it's really not impressive. It was kind of launched to do 1080p, but with modern games now,
Hmm.
it's barely doing that, So it gives you an idea
Right.
what you're getting here, and it just makes me kind of depressed. So what's your thoughts on it?
Um. Yeah, you'd kind of hope that they would kind of step it up, considering it's basically what, like a 3-year old equivalent card.
Yeah,
So, um, yeah, I don't know. It just seems like the graphic card, that they've chosen pretty much. How can I put this? Basically, it's just kind of just a cheap 1080 card that really is meant for 1080 games of last generation and not really stepping up for 1080 for a next generation of graphic.
yeah, yeah. And they say they're going to support 4K resolution, but it's not true 4K. There's no way in hell. Um,
The only way they're going to support 4K is going to end up being in like slideshow photos and maybe video if it ever happens, but like in games, there's no way.
yeah, I don't see it either. The other thing that's been bothering me
Unless they're
about
doing,
this, so go ahead, sorry.
yeah. Oh, I was gonna say unless like you'll have like a couple of those like 2D games that maybe run in 4K. There might be one or two of those that maybe come out eventually, but like there's no way 3D is gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of doubt all that. The other thing that they've been bullshitting us on is they're saying it's going to get faster by using the power of the cloud.
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't born yesterday. Uh, Even if they had a fiber optic line going directly to your house into your Xbox, the latency would be so much that you still would not be able to do this. I'm sorry. It's just
Right. Yeah.
that's
There. That like that idea is just so stupid because I mean, how fast memory travels within your system compared to internet. Like, I don't think people really realize how much faster it is than our internet speeds.
yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
gigabytes per second, not megabits per second.
yeah, yeah. There's just I don't see any way at all. So unless they got some kind of alien technology that I'm not aware of, I don't see this happening. So I'm going to move on to PS4 specs now. So here we have the PS4 specs. Um, so this is Wikipedia. Take it with a grain of salt, but pretty much the same thing. Two quad cores, Jaguar based, 18 compute
Right.
units this time, so 1152. So a little bit better, um,
Hmm.
but still about $180 video card equivalent. Now the
Right.
thing, now this is cool. This means that PS4 will technically be able to do 1080p for a little while longer, but at what
Right.
cost? So um, now the thing that I have a problem though is when you take Xbox, yeah, it has Kinect, which I will admit Kinect is a really cool idea, but it seems like
Hmm.
the voice integration is the best part and the video integration is the lacking part. It still doesn't
Right.
work great. And they're charging $100 more, and that's not what I buy a game console for. I buy it for I want, the best state of the art I can get for my money. This is where PS4 is
Right.
delivering. Um, to build a console,
Agreed.
yeah, to build a equivalent PC to Xbox One, you can definitely do it in $500. To do it on
Easily.
PS4, it's a lot harder.
Right.
So my thoughts are, I don't see in a world like me and Joe, we would not be living in any kind of world where we would pay $100 less for a better graphics card. That just doesn't happen.
Right.
So this has been my whole problem with Xbox and PS4 pretty much. So what are so anyways, the only other thing I have to say about PS4 is it does seem that the GDDR5 is contributing a little bit better to system performance, and I've noticed that a lot of games on Xbox, like Dead Rising 3, I tried out, and it was a minute and a half to load anything. And the only thing I can think of is the antiquated system RAM. Um, there's problems like Killer Instinct, just pretty much like everything I've heard of. The load times are terrible, and they're not super fast on PS4 compared to PC, but I think that's kind of an unfair comparison in a way because it is a console
Right.
versus a PC. So, but they're good enough. So,
Hmm.
I don't know. Like PS4 is a little
I'm
bit,
sure like the load times will probably get a little bit better too over time as well, because that's how it was on the last system.
yeah, and that's true. But I mean, you're doing a minute and a half to 2 minutes in some games. That's pretty bad, especially if
Right.
it's
So there's nowhere to go but better from there.
yeah, you would hope so. You would think it would be better already, seeing that they're using supposedly technology that's so close to what we've been using for over 20 years now that they would
Right.
know how to optimize for that. So that's what kind of has me worried about it a little bit.
You'd think, but I think right now some of the stuff that we're seeing that's on the consoles right now, because I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt here. I'm sure a lot of it's been rushed,
Hmm.
so they're
Yeah,
not so worried about like load times and everything yet.
yeah, and that's what I heard is that these consoles are coming in pretty hot, like to the point where like the PS4 OS was like not even done like a week before launch. So
Hmm. Right.
I'm sure it will get better. But PS4 would have my attention right now, but for me personally, my own point of view, still not good enough. So that's why I'm skipping on it.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
the
I mean, this is our this is opinion coming from PC gamers. I mean, if you're console gamers and you just don't like PCs, I mean, PS4 is interesting, but it's just for us, it's kind of behind still.
Yeah, yeah, and I believe that most of our listeners are going to be PC listeners anyways. They're probably going to feel pretty similar to us. And then the
Right.
ones that do, or there's just going to be people out there who are going to buy everything regardless, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with
Right.
that. Um, the main problem between both the consoles I have though is something a lot of major things happened in Windows PCs within the last console generation. Like it's not like brain surgery now to plug a controller in and get it to work with games. You just plug it in. Windows is like, okay,
And it works. Right.
yeah. I mean that's like one of the best things right there. Um, like the other thing is too is like I'm sorry, but first person shooters for me are still best on mouse and keyboard, and like always have
Oh,
been.
easily.
Um, but the biggest thing is Steam. Steam has taken
Agreed.
off in the
Uh,
last generation.
yeah, Steam has made it really, really easy for anyone to just load up a game and it works. Now, at least most of the time, it's a lot easier now.
Yeah, I mean, last time I did this was before last generation hit, and to even find a game, it was kind of difficult to go in the store because PC games weren't stocked the same way that console games were.
Right.
Prices were the same. Prices are far, far different now. Um,
Right.
I should have brought it up. I saw a report about 2 or 3 months ago that a guy did that said if you buy a console now with the cost of having to connect online with the console and 40 games in its lifetime, you're spending like between 28 to $3,200 depending on Xbox One or PS4, to where it's
Sounds about
actually
right.
On PC, it's $1,000 less, even though the hardware costs more initially.
Right. Yeah, because God, I mean, I don't know how many times I end up buying a game for like a couple bucks just from all the ridiculous sales and stuff they have.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they got it going on right now like crazy. So,
Hmm.
actually, let me bring up a couple other things too. So, I mean, you can go up to like sites like Good Old Games and like say Steam. You don't like the DRM or whatnot. I believe Good Old Games, like everything's DRM free, isn't it?
It has everything on Good Old Games is DRM free. That is like their thing.
Yeah. So you can just get it, put it to a hard drive, take it to somebody's house, give it to them, which I don't recommend that you do, but
Hmm.
you know, like like right now, like
But
Microsoft and Sony are like, yeah, you can just borrow the disc, but there's still some DRM kind of tied to it, believe it or not.
right, yeah, with this there's none at all. Yeah, you can just share it with your friends, and it's not gonna be a problem at all.
Yeah. The other thing is that getting games to work on uh, PC have been a lot easier now with like things like GeForce
Hmm.
Experience and what's the AMD one like Raptor or something like that.
You probably know better than I would.
Yeah, I don't have a clue right now. So these are some of the problems I had now. Pros and cons, there's a lot of cool things. Like you can Twitch stream now on PS4. Apparently it's going to happen
Hmm.
on Xbox. Uh, easy
One
setup.
eventually. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Xbox setup was a little bit harder, but the PS4 was like 5 steps and you were up and running. So it was like nothing.
Nice.
Um, Controllers are a lot better. Well, at least the PS4 controller is a lot better. I'm hearing bad things about the Xbox One.
Really?
Yeah, apparently the bumpers now have like levers in them. So
Huh.
apparently it only works if you roll your finger up to hit the bumper. If you try to hit it flush, it doesn't want to register.
It's weird.
Yeah, so I don't know. I have to get my hands on one to know for sure. Um,
Right.
PS4 controller is a lot better now.
Yeah, it does
Xbox,
seem very nice.
I only got to really mess with the Xbox One for a little bit, and that was on Dead Rising 3 and Forza, and I didn't. It wasn't for long enough that I could have formed an opinion. There's a weird seal on the
Hmm.
back of the Xbox One controller that I don't like. That's like right where your fingers come around. That
Hmm.
that seems like that could be
It's like
uncomfortable after a
really
while.
like I don't know, like kind of like a slippery kind of thing.
No, like the seal that goes around the controller to join the two halves. Well,
No, really?
that's like actually on the back of the grip now.
Huh.
So that's a bit weird. Um, but yeah, other than that, I mean, if I wasn't such a graphics whore, I'd be fine with both of them. But um, I expected better, basically, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it
You
from
know
my
what?
my pers.
Honestly,
I'm sorry.
this is oh well. I was gonna say honestly, the term graphics whore
Hmm.
is really just pretty much console gamers just trying to give PC gamers crap.
I mean, maybe, but my problem is 1080p should be a standard now. And when people to me say, well, 720 is good enough, and to me it's not. I want both frame rate and
Right.
resolution, and I want to experience the game that was meant to be played. Because if you talk to any game developer, they'll tell you that consoles are holding games back. They want to do things with like physics and stuff that they just can't do on a console.
Right.
And this is also like the weird whole circle we're in. Like without consoles, like PCs would really wouldn't have a whole lot of games to tout or whatnot. Like PCs just not is starting to become sort of popular in that way, but it's just not becoming enough popular
Hmm.
to really justify it. So,
Right.
speaking of that, well, anyways, you got anything else you want to add on the consoles, or we kind of lost our pros and cons thing, so maybe I'll do that later. But
Oh, not really. I don't.
all right. Oh, the other thing I forgot, I'm getting rid of my Vita because I found out remote play is only 30 frames a second, and to me does not look very smooth. So hey.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't have a whole lot else to add to that. I mean, it's personal preference. There's nothing bad. We heard that there's some failures, like Foxconn apparently had employees trying to throw a monkey wrench in PS4. Um,
Right.
we've heard of a couple of Xbox Ones that have died apparently, but I just think it's like normal launch kind of stuff that happens. And
Yeah, it's still a really low percentage, so
yeah,
probably not going to affect too many people.
like I'm pretty
And I'm
sure.
sure Sony and Microsoft will be right on top of that, like about fixing it for you.
Yeah, and you got these outlets. Like, actually, Microsoft's been pretty good. Microsoft's been sending Xboxes to people with broken ones before they've had to send a broken one out. So, um, and then, like a lot of these sites like IGN, you're just gonna have people be like, uh, hey, this one dude that had a broken PS4 posted on YouTube. So I guess they're all broke
Right.
because it's gonna give them hits. So that's why they're gonna do it. All right, so here on the Fox News link I sent you, Microsoft promises core first-party games coming to PC. So this kind of came out of the Xbox One launch event where Phil Spencer said that they've lost their way on PC and are coming back. And I don't know. I
Right.
think with everything that they did with games for Windows and how that was a horrible failure, and they promised this before with Vista. Um, I don't know. Do you really believe them?
um, I don't know. Microsoft is always really hard to tell whether they're actually going to follow up on what they say or not.
Yeah, I mean, here, like the two games that they're touting as like examples of that, Project Spark, which is something I really don't want to play, um, and
No, I don't
it,
know. It sounds, I don't know. It's just some kind of weird, like, open project thing where you create your own stuff. I mean, it's
yeah,
kind of a cool idea, but I don't have much of an interest in it, especially considering what I do. I mean, I've tried playing like Little Big Planet and make my own game levels, but at this point, because of actually kind of trying to work on real games and everything, to me that's just so silly for me to try anymore.
yeah, it seems I don't know. And then the other one they use as an example is Titanfall, which doesn't make any sense because it's not even a Microsoft Game Studio game; it's
It's
EA.
technically, yeah, it's EA. I know. It's technically like, I think it was kind of like, hey, EA, can you at least not have it on PS4? Will you give us money? Yeah, okay, but we're gonna have it on everything else that we can. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean it's a great deal for the guys at Respawn because, guys, I got news for you. If you didn't really know, the version that you're getting on Xbox One and on Xbox 360 is not the same version that we're getting on PC. Technically they are, but it sounds like it's another studio doing the console versions, and then Respawn is actually handling the PC version. Um,
Right.
and this goes back to a lot of stuff at E3, where now we're finding out that Titanfall they showed at E3 was actually the PC version. So that does not necessarily mean that's
Hmm.
what it's going to look like on Xbox One.
No.
Um,
Right. Which is something that we've already seen with many games. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I know, like they totally admitted that Metal Gear Solid 5 that they showed was actually running on PC, not on the console.
yeah, I mean that happened with Forza 5 too. Forza 5, it's an Xbox One game, but at the time they didn't have final hardware. They're actually running it on a Titan. And so the one that they
Right.
showed at E3 was a better looking version of what actually came out. So if you want an idea of like what the differences are, you can go out there and actually find photos of what they showed at E3 and what the final version looks like, and kind of like imagine Titanfall in the same vein, and you'll get an idea.
Mm,
Um,
right.
so, and I don't know. They've said that they are going to support core games so many times on PC, and they've been doing weird things lately. Like some of the games in their game studio, like Market of Ninja, has been coming out on Steam, which is really bizarre. Um, they're showing an interest because it
Well,
seems like
They don't have anywhere else to put. They don't have anywhere else to put them
Oh, I mean, yeah,
because
they
Ace of
closed their
Windows
own.
pretty much is dead now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they closed their own thing, so. Um,
Right.
but I don't know. We'll see.
Like Fable 3 is on Steam as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they mentioned too, was like that Steam that Phil Spencer had mentioned to another outlet that they're interested because I guess Xbox Live in the US has approximately 45 million active users, and Steam has 65. So they're like, well, now they're pretty much big enough that we have to pay attention to them.
Right.
So money talks. Okay,
Mm,
another piece of hardware here we're going to talk about real quick because most of us are PC gamers here. The R9 290X that everybody loves. Um, so yeah, it turns out that reviewers that got this card got pretty much what looks like cherry-picked versions of this card, and then other people have retail versions, not so much. So this card's notoriously hot, runs at 95 degrees C. Um,
that's ridiculous.
yeah, I mean 5 degrees more, you could boil water on this thing. Um, so there's seems that like the review cards, the fan profile was slightly different. And so I was listening to PC Perla podcast last night. They did some testing, and it said the difference in unit engine heaven of 33 frames on the benchmark compared to 27. Um, so I don't know. I mean, it's a cool card. I would stay away from it. It seems to have some kind of issue going on here. Um, but I don't know. And the other thing is too is it seems like the card it'll run at 1 gig speed, but as soon as it heats up, which it almost always heats up in any game, it's running at about like 860 or so. So it's downclocking an awful lot.
Right.
Um, so basically, what this teaches you here, I think, is never to buy first generation hardware. I don't know. I mean,
Still there?
I'm
Okay.
yeah.
Lost you for a second.
No, I was just what's your thoughts on this? Like AMD made a mistake with this card, or
Like it's one of those things where it's a cool idea, and for the few people who maybe can mod it into like water cooled or something,
hmm
yeah, I think it'd probably be a really good card for them. But unless you have a way to keep it cool, like don't get the card. That's really my main thing about it.
yeah, I would say that even for the 290. I just think they're running too damn hot right now, and I don't know what the hell AMD was
Right.
thinking. The card actually comes in a quiet mode where it's not supposed to go up to 40%, but it's actually
Hmm.
pretty damn loud in quiet mode. And in Uber mode, it's really, really damn loud. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to put that in your machine. Even with like headphones on, I think you would still be able to hear it because it sounds like a flippin' jet engine. It's like it's funny they just
uh,
released. Remember they released that ad making fun of Nvidia for the leaf blower card like back in
right.
early 2000. That's what this thing is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a great
It's
card.
funny you say that. Like I actually put my headphones on, and the backup power supply I have
hmm
is loud as hell. I can still hear it through the
Wow. Well, I'm sorry. You'll get a better.
headphones.
You're getting a better power supply.
One more day.
Yeah. Joe's power supply blew up a couple of days ago. So
Yeah, pretty much everything just went, and then I smoke coming out of the back of my computer.
yeah, smoke's not good, even when your power supply dies.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
at least everything survived.
Smelled like something was burning pretty bad.
Yeah. Oh well, and it's always Tomb Raider apparently.
Yep.
Oh well, you took advantage of the sale, and so now you got one hell of a power supply coming. So things are looking
Yeah,
up.
this power supply should last me a long time.
Yeah, you watch them change PCI Express interconnects in like a year or something stupid like that.
Yeah, they'll fuck me over somehow.
All right, so this is the last little bit of news I got up here. NVIDIA GeForce 1.8 up, and apparently it's got some stuff added to it. So, Joe, why don't you take it away? Because I haven't had a chance to really look at it yet.
Okay, pretty much it updated some stuff, of course, with game optimization. The main thing that they changed in that is where it says like optimize. If you actually click on a game, there should be a little custom setting wrench. You can actually set it to what resolution you prefer it at,
Mm-hmm.
and then um, it'll actually have a little slider now where you can like kind of figure out where on the spectrum of performance and quality you would like to see the game at, and it'll tell you like where on that spectrum you are optimized at for that game, which is kind of a cool idea and kind of give you an idea of how well you're performing.
That is
And you
kind of
can
neat.
also still kind of play with it to get it to where you want it. Because maybe you want, maybe you're a person who you rather have it look really nice and look as good as it can be, and maybe sacrifice some frame rate. Or you can be the person where you'll sacrifice quality and you just want better frame rate. So you can kind of play around with it to see what fits you better.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it right here, and it looks pretty cool actually. Um, looks like they did some things different to Shadowplay. Can you actually change the resolution in Shadowplay now of what you're recording?
That one I don't know because I can't do shadow play.
I see.
So that one would be on you.
Well, I've been using it
Remember,
every
I'm only
once in a
running.
while.
Well, I only have a 500 series, so I can't do shadow play. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm only running a 400 right now,
yeah.
but
He only has a 580. He's hurting so bad.
yeah, I know. Uh, thing performs almost about as well as a 760 still.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You could have a 560, so there you go. But I don't know. I got a 760. I still got to turn settings down in games and stuff, but I'm fine with it.
I don't have too many games I have to do that with.
Yeah. I don't know. I got what is it? Far Cry 3 and I think Shadow Warrior. I had to turn some stuff down. They get to do 60 solid. So other than that, I'm
I need to mess with Shadow Warrior and see how that runs, but I gotta wait till the new power supply.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. But Shadowplay's cool. I've been using it every once in a while. I'm kind of waiting to see what Twitch streaming's going to be like on it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully okay. If not, I'm going to still be using Open Broadcaster. But um,
Right.
yeah. So that's all I got for today. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. There's a couple other things like DDR4 is coming, but I don't think that's really relevant because we pretty much are not going to see that on or on home PCs for the next couple of years, anyways.
Probably not. No.
Um, so yeah, any thoughts you want to leave on Xbox One or PS4 or any of that stuff?
Let's see here. I'd say for me, Xbox One. If you are the type of person who you really like Xbox games, like straight up Microsoft games, and I mean you actually like the way it connects and everything works. If you're that, and um, maybe even how Xbox Marketplace is, go for it. I mean, it'll probably last you a while. I doubt that thing will ever like overheat, or you shouldn't have the same problems anymore that the 360 had. But
If that thing
um,
overheats, it's
if
gonna
you're
be
looking
just dumb.
right, exactly. Um, but it's definitely power-wise inferior to the PS4. Um, I think yeah, the PS4 has more power, and it definitely has the more power to it. And if you really want and you just can't deal with a PC or whatever, If you
Mhm.
just want to go straight console and have the best gaming experience you can on console, definitely go PS4.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, if you are a little, even just a little bit tech savvy, and you've worked on computers or whatever, go ahead and make yourself, um, you know, a PC or someone they know that helps you make you a decent PC, and hell, you can, the way things are looking, you can hook it up to your, your big, um, 55-inch or bigger, TV or whatever, hook that up to that, and the way things are going, PC has a lot of stuff coming out that looks good for anybody, and, any user now, as long as you can get over that little slight learning curve that PC has.
Yeah, and let's not forget PC's got more console or more exclusives than consoles.
Yes, it does, and also, when it comes to backwards compatibility type of idea, you know, PC has a long lineup, and even good old games or whatever is making it easier to play those old games, and they just work.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I mean even Super Nintendo games and stuff are technically backwards compatible on there. So
yeah, because with emulators and whatnot, and Steam and whatnot has a lot of old Genesis games and whatnot up on there too. So
yeah, I'm going to the store right now to see what it's on there for buy right now. I mean this is really hard not to buy Elysian Tale for $4, but
yeah, I don't blame you. If I wasn't so strapped for cash right now, I probably would have bought like 10 things.
yeah, but hey, yeah, people, this is a good example right here. Like the sale, Tomb Raider, $10. Uh,
Yeah,
sh-
for the newest Tomb Raider that just came out in the past year.
yeah, Shadow Warrior, $10. And this is a PC only game, and this game freaking rocks.
Hmm.
I played through it.
Yeah.
Far Cry 3, 750. I mean, come on.
Right.
You got to be kidding me. Like, why? And you don't even have to leave your house. You just click and then you're done, right?
And then just yep, and then it just downloads, and that's the only part you have to wait for.
Yeah, and I'm actually to the point where I used to be somebody that was anal and wanted to collect discs all the time. And I've got to say, like, honestly, I really like just having it there and just clicking and launching. It's like the
Yeah,
best.
like that's how I kind of was. I'm like, man, I really like having the disc, and part of me still kind of likes popping the disc in, but at the same time, I'm just like, what do I want to play? And I just click on my library, and I just look, and then I just click on it, and it goes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of free to play games too here. Like, we got Warframe and Marvel Heroes and, you
Mhm.
know, some stuff that,
Which that is actually something that's kind of cool that they're trying to do. They're a little behind on it on console compared to PC, but they're trying to have some free to play games now, which is good that they're trying to do that.
yeah, I can see that. Like the PS4 game that the War Thunder they've been touting, that's been out on PC for a while now.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
they have Warframe up on PS4 as well.
yeah. And of course you got like
Um,
World of Tanks and
World
stuff
of
like
Tanks,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
on 360 and Xbox One.
yeah, I mean, so they're trying some of that, but the one thing that's a major thing that you cannot do is mods. Um,
Hmm.
so if you want to know what mods are, go look at stuff like Skyrim, Frostfall. There's a mod on Skyrim where you can actually like be Batman and Spider-Man in a Cadillac Coupe de Ville just racing around or whatnot. So there's just all kinds of
Yep.
crazy crap. You can make your own mods. I don't do that. Joe does every once in a while.
Hmm.
Here's another
Yeah, the
example.
last one I was trying to do, someone beat me to it before I was able to finish it.
Yeah,
I was like, damn it.
and here's another thing you're not going to see. Okay, so this is my library right here, and here's Joe's games that he's sharing with me. And so like my actual games, I have 130, but with all my friends, I can play up to 408 games. So
Yeah, it is pretty. I love that. thing. I think I have up to like, let's see, like 533 games with all my friends.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to play Alpha Protocol. I keep forgetting it's on there. I've been wanting to play that, and now I
Yeah,
don't. I just need to download it because one of my friends has it and play it, and
yep,
that's
yep,
that's
that'd be me.
awesome. I mean, that's just
Right,
awesome, though. Like, you're not gonna see that on console. There's no way in hell.
right.
I'm surprised we have.
Actually, even though Xbox One was gonna try that, but it got
Yeah,
cut.
yeah. And I can kind of see the point because if I had a physical disc, I would certainly want to sell it back. The only way that they were going to get that, and the smartest thing that Steam's doing now with Steambox is it can't have a disk drive. See what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Because the disk is just
Well,
an
yeah, it
install
doesn't need
disk
it.
at that point.
And, right, that's really all it is. Which in some cases is nice because, like, um, for example, like my dad had got Call of Duty Ghosts, and that game's like 40 gigs on the
Yeah,
computer, and install was a lot quicker than trying to download 40 gigs.
yeah, but that's the
But
new normal now, so you gotta get used to it.
right,
It's just
eventually, our internet speeds and stuff will get better, where 40 gigs won't even be that big of a problem anymore. Anyway, it's
yeah,
just right now, it's still kind of like, Jesus, that's 40 gigs.
yeah, and the main reason it's that large is because of the 4K textures that they put in there.
Right.
So there's that. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty rocking experience, and it's completely converted me because this did not exist at the last launch of the last console generation. With this console generation
Well, at least
launch,
not at where it's at right now. It's
no,
definitely
no,
not the same. Cause
nowhere
I,
near
cause I
where it's
had
at.
Steam. Yeah, cause I had Steam before the last console launched, last generation. But it was pretty much only Valve games,
Hmm.
and that was it. That's all you could play on there at the time.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
I mean, it's amazing evolution what Steam has turned into, and I love it. The death. I mean, there's a couple quirks here and there about Steam, but for the most part, it's great. It really has revolutionized the way PC gaming is and how gaming in general really works.
yeah, I mean, there's just so many other options besides Steam too, like Green Man Gaming, Good Old Games, Origin, uh, Uplay,
Humble bundle.
I guess. Yeah, Humble Bundle, man, you can get so much stuff on there for so cheap, it's ridiculous. Um,
Yep, and you can what's cool about Humble Bundle, for those who don't know, whenever you buy something on there, and they have a lot of bundles where you get like 6 games or whatever, and you can just slap down like $1, and you might get like 8 games, and slap down 5 or more or whatever. Um, but you can actually divvy out where your money goes. Whether you can give it to like the developers or charity, and like divide like $3 to one and $3 to the other. And they also have their store, which games are pretty cheap on there as well. It's just kind of a cool alternative. And
yeah,
normally they work through Steam anyways. So
like right here, I'm showing them the weekly sale. It's got Jamestown Closure, Spaz, Shatter, Dungeon Defenders, and Defense Grid Gold, and all the soundtracks
hmm
for Uh,
right,
and the way it works is these games here, like Jamestown, Closure, Spaz, Shatter, you could just, if you just want these, you can just pay like, what is it, just like 50 cents, and they just give them to you. You name your own price.
yeah. It's
And
either
then,
50 cents or $1 is the minimum, but yeah,
yeah, and then this, pay $6. This is the, uh, beat the average, sort of. So if you pay over $6 and you get Dungeon
hmm
Defenders and Defense Grid and these two extra soundtracks for that. So that's how it works. They have a weekly, and then is the regular bundle like a month? Is that how it
I
works?
think 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and usually more games unlock like
Yeah,
in
I
the
think so.
last day, like last couple of days or something like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
um,
If you went over the average, you'll normally there's like 1 or 2 games they add to it at the end,
oh yeah,
which is kind of cool.
I gotta make a correction here too. On the weekly sale, it's $6 or more regardless, right? And then the bundle, it's over the average to unlock
Yes,
the extra stuff. Okay,
right.
yeah. So I'm still learning some
Yeah, I mean
things.
sometimes they have crazy bundles. Like remember the Origin bundle?
Yeah, I mean we got Battlefield 3 and Dead Space 3 and all kinds of stuff, and I think I paid like 550 for that at the most.
Right,
Um,
yeah, I know. It was all like, I mean, yeah, those were, Dead Space 3 like just came out,
yeah, yeah,
and they threw it in the bundle. I was like, wow.
yeah. I mean that's crazy. And Dead Space 1 was in there too. What else was in there? There's all kinds of stuff.
Sims 3, and it also came. It was Sims 3 and two expansion packs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and then there's the Deep Silver one with Saints Row 2 and 3. Um,
hmm
Dead Rising. What other games were in that pack? I'm trying to remember.
I think Metro 2033
Yeah, Metro's
was
in it.
in
Yeah,
there as well.
yeah.
Um,
So I mean, I've
there was
got
also the WB Games one, which was really good as well. They had both Batmans, all
yeah,
three Fears, um, Scribblenauts. Crap, I don't know. There's so much. Like, give you like a starter pack for Lord of the Rings Online, so you actually basically have a real account now on there.
yeah. And they've got a store now, so you can go in there and get stuff on the
Yep.
store, and that still goes to charity, right?
Yeah, they. Yep.
Yeah.
It works the same. You can divvy up how much of like say like I think right now Shadow Warrior is up there for like $10.
Yeah.
So you can divvy out how much of that $10 you want to go to the developer and how much you want to go to the charity.
Yeah, and it's really cool. The other thing that they do a little bit different is, well, it does. They do this in the Humble Bundle. This is where I'm confused because I haven't bought anything on their store yet. Do you know when you buy something on the store, do they still give you like the Steam key and the DRM version and all that stuff?
If there is a DRM free version of that game, they will give you that as well. Yes.
Okay. So, like here you can see on the store we're looking at it right now, like Shadow Warrior $10, they got a little Steam symbol and then a DRM free. So that means you're getting a Steam key and then you can download it directly off the site. There's no like I guess security or lockout on the game, and you can just load on
Yep.
whatever
You
machine
just
you want.
install it and it works.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so it's another good way to get your DRM free games if you want to prefer to do that, and your money's going to charity at the same time. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes. What are the charities? I know it's like Child's Play is one of them, and there's another one.
They got American Red Cross, Child's Play, Electronic Frontier Foundation, uh, World Land Trust,
Right.
and Charity Water. So that's what's up right
Which
now on there.
I know. I've I've worked in known a couple people who are with Child's Play, and Child's Play is pretty good. I mean, it's all really just about um help like kids with like illness and whatnot, bringing video games to them so that they can kind of enjoy themselves while they're not feeling well and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
kind of a cool idea.
it's a good way to get their minds off of whatever they're going through, cancer or whatnot. So,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I definitely, if I can, I try to throw money this way, and it's a lot better way of approaching all this. So, and it's just amazing that they're able to give this stuff out for free. Like the bundles before, the games had to be pretty much donated by the developer to say, yeah, here, and we only want so many cents off the sale or whatnot, and you can have the rest. But now it seems like they found a way to do that in the store, so that's pretty cool. Oh, my internet's being all slow and junky. Can't wait to get a new adapter. Anyways, first world problems. So
Yeah.
I guess that's pretty much where I'm gonna leave it tonight. I will have kind of like a walkthrough of Windows 8 as a gaming machine. I know Joe's kind of sitting there going,
Mhm. Actually, I will have to say Windows 8 with 8.1. I was using it this past week because my dad has it and he upgraded to 8.1 and everything. And I was using it and like it just felt so much smoother than regular 8. It felt like I was actually using a traditional Windows computer that's just been upgraded with new stuff now. Like
yeah,
instead of feeling like a whole new different operating system. I I like it actually quite a bit. It's pretty nice. Now I don't know how well it would be for everything I want to do, but
hmm
just basic use and everything, I was totally happy with it.
Yeah, I've been pretty happy with it. It's kind of weird to have to right click every time on the button instead of left click. I wish there was an option to change that. Um, I'd rather left click and bring up all the little apps and stuff, and then right click to, you know what I mean. So,
Right.
yeah. Anyways, Alan Wake franchise, $40, whatever.
I think yeah, they had the Alan Wake bundle. I think I dropped $1 and got both Alan Wake games.
Yeah, that's like what I did. It was like $1.
Mhm.
Oh well, consoles.
Yep.
So yeah, consoles were fun. I'm gonna leave you behind. So that's how that's going. Um, so I don't have anything else to say. I guess we're just gonna end it on that note. I wonder how many negative replies we're gonna get.
At least we didn't talk shit about Nintendo this time.
Yeah, and the one thing I want to say, you guys want to leave a comment, you can try to do it in YouTube, but their comments are kind of bunk right now. They're screwed up. So like, if somebody says something like negative, and then like 5 people dislike it, for some reason that goes to the top. So I don't actually get to see what people with positive anything to say on there says. So my suggestion is go to our Facebook page, leave a comment there. It's at facebook.com Final Save Point, or go to our website, which is finalsavepoint.webs.com, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and you can try to leave something on the forums there, but I think they've been pretty dead for a little while, so maybe the Facebook page would be better.
Pretty much everyone decided screw the forums and everyone just posts on Facebook now.
Yeah, so you can post to Facebook there, and we will have an audio version of this shortly afterwards. But this is the way the things are working right now, it's gonna hit YouTube tonight. It's probably gonna be pretty bad because we're just kind of rambling, but whatever. And I'll strip the audio out after that, and probably put an audio version up sometime tomorrow, or the day after.
Hmm.
So, all right. So with that bombshell of Humble Bundle that we left there, I am out. Joe, thanks for joining me.
Oh, no problem. It's fun. Always it's fun.
Yeah. Do you want to sign out with some kind of call sign or battle cry?
No,
Okay.
no.
Fine. Spoon.
So long.